Hello viewers, this is SK, your facilitator for this e-learning or virtual learning program. And I welcome you to this platform, which is going to be an interactive platform for all students from JHS1 to JHS3 who are in this COVID-19 season relaxed at home. We use this opportunity to educate you in your course subjects, basically English, Maths and Sciences. I expect that you will take this opportunity to sign up on this platform. You may contact Robenja Boot on 024 627 0161 or 0544 874 357. Effective tutorials on BDT can be given to you when you call on us. We are ever willing and friendly to answer your questions as you prepare towards the BEC. I hope you will quickly take your phone and begin to dial the number once again. Viewers and parents, I will be glad to hear from you. Let us not waste time because of the COVID season, but capitalize on this to educate our children. We have every video available for you for all lessons. It is going to be an opportunity you can't miss out. All course subjects are included. Call us on 0544 874 357 or 0246 270 161 and you will never regret signing on. Welcome once again and we hope to hear from you. See you. Our topic for today, for the science lesson, is simple machines. We'll ask ourselves, what is a machine? A machine is any tool or any device or equipment, you can also call it equipment, that is used to carry out a duty or a task. You can do your work, any duty or any task can be carried out using a simple machine. Basically, there are two types of machines. We have simple machines and complex machines. Simple machines are used in our daily lives. For complex machines, they are used for companies, industries, and other places which demands complicated machines. We can also call the complex machines compound machines. Examples of complex machines are the tractor, the bulldozer, the forklift, the blenders. All these are complex machines. Our focus today is on simple machines. Let's identify some examples of types of simple machines. The types are basically levers. We also have inclined plane, gears, pulleys, a screw, and then the wedge. Wheel and axle is also another type of simple machine. Wheel and axle. Now let's briefly talk about some of these types of simple machines. In brief, we'll talk about levers and identify the types of levers. Levers are basically rigid or unmovable bars with a pivot, which is also the turning point. Any rigid bar which has a turning point and is able to carry a load when an effort is applied. That is what we call a lever. We use levers in performing our daily activities, and with examples you get to understand what levers are. For example, if I pick a scissor, with the use of scissors I can easily carry out the work of cutting a fabric or any material, paper, whatever, name it, leather. We call this a lever because the scissors has what we call a turning point, which is the middle, the turning point. Sometimes it is screwable. The scissor has a place you attach the load. You can fix a load here. You can fix any fabric here in order to cut. That is where the load is. And the place I hold, where the handle is where I apply the effort. A scissor is an example of a lever. Very well. Now let's look at the classes of levers. We have basically 3 classes of levers, which are the first class lever, the second class lever, and the third class lever. Examples of first class levers is the scissors that I cited. Why do I say scissor is a first class lever? Basically, I go by this acronym, the EPL, that is the arrangement, the order of arrangement for a first class lever. The E represents the efforts. Every first class lever begins with the efforts at one end. That is where I hold is the efforts end. And the pivot is the turning point, as I've told you about levers. The turning point where the screw is the pivot, and the pivot for first class levers is located at the middle, and then the load comes at the end. The load is always attached to the lever at the end of it. So any kind of lever that has an effort at the end with the load at the opposite end and the effort the pivot at the middle is classified as a first class lever. Tools such as the pliers, the shears, and basically the crowbar and the crowbar are all examples of first class levers. Now let's talk about second class levers. How do you identify second class levers? For the second class lever, we have the efforts also at the end. That's where you hold the load at the middle and then the pivot at the other end. So with second class levers, it is ELP. The first class lever was EPL. Second class lever is ELP, where the load is at the middle. When you take the wheelbarrow, for example, you all know the wheelbarrow. It has the handle where we hold at the end, that is the effort. The load is actually carried at the middle, and then the pivot, the turning point where the wheel is in front. So for all second class levers, we have ELP, ELP, or PLE. That is the second class of levers. With the third class of levers, it is rather in this order: the P, the turning point, the E, and then the L. That is PL for the third class levers. Pivot comes in front, effort at the middle, and then the load at the extreme end. The nutcracker is an example. The sugar tank is an example. You can pick some tools, basic simple tools, and then identify whether they fall in any of these categories. That will be a good exercise for you. The second type of simple machines that we can actually talk about is what we call inclined planes. An inclined plane is simply a tool which is a tilted board or surface that is able to help us in carrying load. It's a tilted or a flat surface which is able to help us in carrying load from a lower level to a higher level. How do we get this inclined plane? How do we use them? Simply, it could be a metal or a wooden material which helps in unloading cars and probably all kinds of vehicles whenever you have heavy goods. Example, when pilots want to carry the load into the cargo compartment of their airplanes, inclined planes are used. Ship captains are also able to load their ships with various kinds of things into the cargo compartment by the use of inclined planes. You can also apply this in your homes whenever you want to carry something that is from a lower level to a higher level without destroying your spinal cord. The best way is to get a board, a flat board, and then let it serve as inclined plane by loading either blocks or any material in a tilted form, and probably with the help of the wheelbarrow, or you can even push your material which is being loaded on top of the inclined plane. The next one we would like to talk about as a type of simple machine is the gears. What is a gear? A gear is simply a wheel, a metal wheel with teeth at the edges. Teeth at the edges of a gear. Metal wheel with teeth at the edges. How is a gear used? A gear in bicycles, cars, and other working machines for farmlands are able to change the speed from one level to the other in order to carry out a task. So we use gears in bicycles, in cars, and in other farm machines. The next tool we talk about, the type, is the screw or the pulleys. We talk of the screws first. A screw is simply a simple machine which is used to fasten a joint. With a screw, you can hold two joints together by tightening. So screws are meant for joints. To hold joints together, you need a screw to tighten. And then we'll talk about the pulleys, which is used in carrying heavy loads. The pulley system is made of ropes and then a turning point on a wheel, which is used to carry heavy loads. Normally you see this at the harbors and other places where heavy loads must be carried from a lower level to a higher level. Normally when they are unloading containers into ships, that is what they use. We also talk about what we call the wedge. A wedge is a simple tool you normally use at home. Whenever you want to split pieces of wood or chunk of wood, whenever you want to split logs, the best tool to use is a wedge. A wedge is simply a wooden tool with a metal at the edge. A wooden tool with a sharp metal at the edge, which is used to split that woods or any other material that need to be splitted. So a wedge is also an example of a simple machine. Aside wedges, we have other types like the wheel and axle, which normally whenever you want to draw water from a depth, the best tool to use is the wheel and the axle. Now let's briefly talk about work, because simple machines assist us to perform our daily task. Let's talk about work. What is work? We say work is anything we do for pleasure. That's for real. Work is said to be done. We can only say you have performed any work or duty when you carry a load or a task with an effort through a distance. So in the direction of your efforts or the direction of your force, work is done. Therefore, we can simply say work done can be calculated as force by or times the distance you've covered. Anytime you apply a force and you cover a distance, we say work is said to be done. Symbolically, we can say work done is equal to F times D, or FD, work done. This is an easy formula for calculating work. I hope you can try your hands on the examples in your textbook. How about energy? How do we define energy? Energy is simply the ability to perform work. If I have energy in me, I have the ability to do my work or perform my task. Ability to do work. Finally, we're talking about power. Power. What then is power? Power simply means the rate at which work is done. How do I explain rate at which work is done? The rate at which work is done simply means how easy and fast a work is carried out. So we simply say power is defined as work done over time taken. Power is defined as the rate of doing work, and the formula simply says work done, divide the work done by the time it took you to accomplish that task or to do that work. Work done over time taken. Work done over time taken. That is the simplest definition for power. As far as simple machines are concerned, you may be asked in the BEC to answer questions on what levers are and to group tools into the first class, second class, and third class levers. And you may be required also to explain briefly what is a gear, what inclined planes are, and then what screws mean. you need to know how best to explain each of these and their mode of operation. How do they work? How do each of these simple machines work? I trust that this lesson has been very, very educative to you and is going to be beneficial to you. We would like to take some calculations on work done, energy, mechanical advantage, power, and an efficiency of a machine in our next section. If you are interested as a student in any of these online or virtual learning activities, I recommend to you that you call us or you WhatsApp us on 0246 270 161 or 0544 874 357. And you have the friendly tutors who will take you through various topics on weekly basis, interactive enough and practical based topics that will assist you to go through your academic work whilst you are at home. Till we meet again, I would like to say, get on board Road Benjamin Multimedia on 0246 270 161 or 0544 874 357. Let me repeat the number again: 0246 270 161 or 0544 874 357. And at the comfort of your home, through this virtual learning platform, you will be able to get tutorials and then enjoy your lessons. Thank you. Until we meet again, stay safe. Bye bye.